J Drone here. So in rapid response of people saying they like the car videos, they're very helpful. I don't really sugarcoat anything. I make sure you guys can see everything. This car here is a beautiful car. It's a 96 Eldorado. Only one draw with it. As you can see, I've had a solar panel trickle charging the battery. There's a parasitic draw on it. Very common with these Cadillacs. Where there's just something constantly drawing. And don't mind my hands, I've been working all day. Look at the calluses. Maybe it's the trunk that's constantly going off. Maybe it's your antenna. Maybe it's something. Let me save you a couple $100, if not a G note, if you got a mechanic that's gonna hit you off. Check it out. This is it. This is it. So your positive stays on your positive. You don't gotta touch your positive. Go to AutoZone. Excuse my finger. Get you this lever. Your negative, which is down there, connects to the lever. The lever itself, which where these prongs are, that connects to the battery. So we throw a switch like this. I heard it. We have power. And you just want to make sure that's nice and snug. You don't want that loose. And again, this is all it is. It's a throw switch. It looks very mechanical, and it is very mechanical. It's extremely simple. Now this car has been dealership babied the majority of its life. So somebody tried to solve the problem with this switch. Boom. As you can see, now we have lights. Lights turn on and everything. But even just shutting this switch off that is now glowing, even just shutting that off, letting this sit for like 3 days, I would still get a dead battery. Let's see if this will start. I haven't started this in 2 days. Nope. It's insane. Insane. And it could be that Walmart battery. It absolutely could be that Walmart battery and a combination of parasitic drain. But I'm thinking there's still some type of draw. I'm thinking somehow, even when this right here is disconnected, there's some type of draw on it. I don't know. This has worked on other vehicles. This vehicle is just troublesome. Try this first. Before you go to a mechanic, try this first. This might solve your problem, because this is basically the same thing as disconnecting one of your leads when you garage a vehicle for a long period of time. Or again, if you have a parasitic draw, maybe you'll do that. Park your car for the night, disconnect it. That way you can connect it when you come back. Same exact thing, but with a mechanical throw lever. All right, so the next step would be to put a battery tender on it, trickle charge it the right way, get the battery up to proper charge. I showed in one of my last videos how you visually can tell that it's charging. You can go over here to your info button, which is right there. Right in the center it says time reset, or trip reset, info reset, and then fuel door. In between info reset and fuel door is your info. You hit it about 4 or 5 times, you'll get your battery readout. So right now we're reading 1.6. I think I'm only dumping maybe 2 amps into it. 2 amps. So I'm only dumping 2 amps into it. We go ahead and drop 50 amps, which would basically be to try to jump it. You can now see we're sitting at 2.7. I'll leave it sit there for a second. I don't know if it'll change. The battery was really low. The battery is probably just about done. Without the vehicle running every day, probably multiple times a day, battery probably should be changed. We'll go ahead and shut it off. It should drop because we're basically juicing it right now. You can drop back to 2. That's what you should do. You should have it on low amps. And then, yeah, I guess it did sit. So I guess that was a strong juice. But yeah, so we'll do this. We'll let this sit for a considerable amount of time, probably even overnight. That way we can just fire it over tomorrow. All right, it is morning, guys. You can see my green light's on. That means the battery is fully charged. We are going to go inside and we'll give a look at what the voltage says. So you can see we're sitting at 14.2 now. I had to jump it. Go figure, the dinosaur, that thing will start every single time. And this thing with that parasitic draw, again, you just see positive and negative. That's all we did, just fired right over. but all night trickle charging and this thing wouldn't start. Could be that Walmart battery, could be the parasitic draw that I didn't nip even with a throw switch. Try the throw switch first though, you're gonna save a lot of money. Guys, I'm Jay Drone. If you haven't subscribed, smash the subscribe button. Questions, comments, concerns, get at me down below. What I want to see here is if we disconnect this and disconnect that. We'll just disconnect it all quick. I want to see what voltage it's reading at. It should be fine because the alternator in this is pretty new, so it should be keeping up with it. It is. As you can see, 14.1. Alright guys, I'm Jay Drone. Cadillacs are notorious for parasitic draws because all the electricity in it, all the electronic components. Something decides to stay on, something gets a bad ground, something gets a live wire, you're going to drain your battery. And a lot of people scrap these, a lot of people get rid of these cars for super cheap because of it. Again guys, put that throw switch on. This one.